All right, just for a second, take a deep breath. In and out. Feels good, right? Well, what you just did, without even thinking about it, is an absolute masterpiece of molecular engineering. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the incredible machinery that makes that simple act possible. And think about this for a second. Your body is made of something like 37 trillion cells, and every single one of them right now is crying out for oxygen. So how on earth does your body solve that just colossal logistics problem? How can one tiny molecule possibly manage a delivery route on that kind of epic scale? The challenge is just immense. A good way to think about it is that your body is like a sprawling city with trillions of tiny inhabitants, all of them cellular customers who need the exact same critical package delivered constantly. And that package is oxygen. If delivery stops, the whole city shuts down in minutes. Now, to service all of these customers, you can't just, dump a bunch of oxygen into the bloodstream and hope for the best. No way. You need a hyper-efficient delivery service. You need specialized vehicles designed for one job and one job only. And that brings us to the hero of our story. So let's meet hemoglobin. If their circulatory system is the highway system of that massive city, then hemoglobin is the fleet of millions upon millions of perfect little delivery trucks zooming around. It's the protein that makes this whole incredible operation actually work. So what is it exactly? Well, hemoglobin is the protein that's just jam-packed inside your red blood cells. Its whole mission, its entire purpose in life, is to pick up oxygen where there's plenty of it, that's your lungs, and drop it off where it's desperately needed, every other tissue in your body. And here's what's so incredible about its design. 4. That's the magic number. Each one of these little hemoglobin trucks has 4 seats, which means it can carry 4 molecules of oxygen at the same time. This 4-seat design makes it a ridiculously effective transport vehicle. So let's pop the hood on one of these trucks. How is it built? Well, each hemoglobin is made of 4 different parts, these protein chains. And nestled inside each of those chains is a special component called a heme group. And right at the very heart of that group is a single atom of iron. That iron atom is the key. It's the physical clamp that literally grabs onto and holds an oxygen molecule. But here is where the real magic happens. Hemoglobin isn't just a static truck, it's a shapeshifter. Think of it like a spring-loaded clamp. When it's empty, it's in what we call the T, or taut state. It's rigid, clenched shut, and it actually doesn't want to pick up oxygen. But once that first oxygen molecule forces its way on, the entire structure snaps open into the R, or relaxed state. Suddenly, it's flexible, and grabbing the next 3 oxygen molecules becomes incredibly easy. This ability to switch back and forth is the absolute secret to its success. Okay, so our delivery truck is fully loaded with its precious cargo. But what happens when it actually reaches its destination? Well, in places like your muscles, the truck meets the local warehouse manager, and that's another key protein called myoglobin. Now, these 2 proteins are on the same team, but they have totally different jobs. Hemoglobin, our 4-seater, is built for long-haul transport through the bloodstream. Myoglobin, which only has 1 part, is designed for local storage. It's like a little storage locker right inside the muscle cells themselves. And here's why that difference is so critical. This chart basically shows how sticky each protein is for oxygen. The lower the bar, the tighter the grip. And look at myoglobin. Its stickiness, or affinity, is just off the charts. It's so greedy for oxygen that it literally yanks it away from hemoglobin when the delivery truck arrives. It then holds onto that oxygen really tightly, creating this local emergency reserve for when you suddenly need a burst of energy. So we've got pickup, we've got storage, but this brings us to the most brilliant, the most elegant part of the whole system. How does our hemoglobin delivery truck know exactly which house out of 37 trillion needs its oxygen package most urgently? I mean, it's a really critical question, right? You don't want oxygen just being dropped off at random. It has to go to the tissues that are working the hardest, like your leg muscles when you're out for a run, or your brain when you're trying to solve a tough problem. How does it sense where the action is? And the answer is just brilliant in its simplicity. Hemoglobin doesn't need a map, it doesn't need a GPS, it just follows the trail of, cellular exhaust. Tissues that are working hard are burning fuel, and that process creates waste products, carbon dioxide and acid. Hemoglobin is exquisitely designed to react to these signals. So here's how that works. It's called the Bohr effect. As that carbon dioxide and acid build up around your hardworking cells, they actually latch on to the hemoglobin molecule. That binding physically forces it to snap back into that rigid taut state we talked about before, the one that doesn't like holding oxygen. And the moment it snaps into that shape, poof, it kicks its oxygen cargo off. It's this beautiful, fully automated smart release system that guarantees oxygen gets delivered precisely where it's needed most. So when you put it all together, from your lungs to your toes and back again, it's really nothing short of a breathtaking molecular dance, happening trillions of times a second all throughout your body. Let's just run through that full journey one last time. In the lungs, where oxygen is everywhere, hemoglobin is pushed into its relaxed state to eagerly load up. Then it travels to the tissues, where high levels of CO2 and acid force it back into its taut state, making it drop off its cargo. Then it's right back to the lungs to do it all over again. Pick up, drop off, reset. Over and over. The story of hemoglobin isn't just about breathing. It's this perfect, elegant example of how molecular shape dictates function. And it just leaves you wondering, right? If all of this unbelievable precision is happening with every single breath you take, what other invisible molecular ballet is going on inside you right now?